On my birthday this year, I will turn 78 years old. And for all of my life, I have been an activist for women's rights because of something that happened to me in 1963 when I was 20 years old. It was the year before when I met him. He was the love of my life and the man that I wanted to marry. My parents didn't approve because what was I doing dating a Black man back in those days? But I didn't care. Things were going well until I found out that he was killed in New York City trying to break up a fight between two gangs. And what was worse is I found out that I was pregnant with his child. I couldn't talk to my parents, but I knew I could go to his mom. She told me to drink all this ginger tea and take all these pills and it would make it go away, but it didn't work. Luckily, I had a coworker who had another way. One day at the welfare office, I opened up my locker and I found a note that said, "Call this number, he may be able to help." So I went to the nearest payphone and I called, and he told me everything I needed to know. He told me to get 10 $20 bills from 3 different banks and to come 4 minutes before midnight, bring an extra coat, and come alone. He told me once I got there to park a quarter of a mile from the entrance, to walk on the far side, and once I got to the entrance, to take 17 large steps until I came to a door with a yellow sticker. Once I got there, I should knock twice, stop, and then knock 3 more times. So I did everything that he said. And when I got there, he opened the door to what was the hospital's kitchen. It was mostly dark, and all I could see were cold steel surfaces, one of which was covered with a white sheet. I gave him the money, and I laid down on the table. He was wearing a mask so that I couldn't tell his identity, but he looked like he was maybe a couple years older than me, probably an intern. The procedure only took 5 minutes, but it was an excruciating 5 minutes as he went inside and cut the umbilical cord. Afterward, he gave me an extra towel and told me to sit on it and the coat that I had brought because in 20 minutes, I would start to bleed out. So I got in my car and I drove home, sitting on the coat and the towel. I was staying with my parents at the time, and I had gotten them a hotel out of town and said I couldn't come on the trip because I was sick. So I went home and sat in the bathroom for hours alone. And I just want women to know today that they will never be alone. And I will always stand for women to have their own right over their own body. My name is Carley Dizon, and I empathize with a 77-year-old Caucasian female feminist, and our blood bleeds red.